Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39, prophecy against Gog. If we read this passage carefully, we will notice that the prophecy is against Gog of the land of Magog. Chapter 38, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Okay, and say, verse 3, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Verse 4, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring forth all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Verse 5, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya were with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north. So here, when would this happen? We just read earlier that God promised peace for his people. They have been punished already. They're returning. And God, the good shepherd, will look for them with the lost sheep, bring them back, shelter, provide for them, give them righteousness, justice, and peace. See, but all of a sudden, here comes from the north, Gog of the land of Magog, the prince of Meshech and Tubal, comes against them. And with his collaborators, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, and Gomer, coming against the people of God. And God had already promised peace to his people. This huge army, we remember the army of Nebuchadnezzar against Tyrus. It's like here's another huge army, and we don't really know who is Gog of the land of Magog, but it mentions Tubal and Meshech. We know where they are. That's like in western Turkey, near Lydia. There's a city called Lydia, even till today. And it's got huge, they come from the north, so yeah, it would be appropriate. So, but I think in Revelations, you hear of, in Ezekiel, you hear strains of Ezekiel in the New Testament. Jesus said, I'm the good shepherd. What was it? He knew Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel, and John knew the book of Ezekiel. So Gog and Magog in Revelation, it just means the final battle. Here when Israel was being settled, here's this final enemy that comes from the north. It's like, whatever it is, they're going to be destroyed by God. God will not allow, he's already promised peace to his people. He will not allow these people to bring peace. So if we read further, 15, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, and a great company, a mighty army. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be the latter days. That means the latter days when Israel has come back from exile, has been settled. And I will bring thee against my land. See, it's God who's going to bring them. Why? To destroy them. It's like, just that God was behind Nebuchadnezzar to punish his people. Here, God is bringing Gog of the land of Magog, the prince of Meshech and Tubal, and his collaborators to come against his people. Why? To destroy this final enemy. So even in Revelation, Gog and Magog is the final battle mounted by the evil forces led by Satan. Of course, they use human agency. It's going to be a nation. We don't know. We don't know. As here, they're never really mentioned where, so that we would be prepared regardless. We may not see the end. So what are you going to do, right? So you can't sit there and wait for the end to come. You may never see it. So that's not the issue, who they are, where they come from. Many people made lots of money from it. So God will bring them down to attack his people. And God will say, yes, here they come. It would destroy them. And because verse 8, this is in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, is gathered. So, when Israel has come back already, and God promised them that they would dwell safely in the land. So here, this horde, this barbarous horde comes, and said, let us attack these people. These are land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are rest, that will dwell safely. We will come. Hey, there is this booty to be had. So verse 14, therefore, son of man, prophesy and say to Gog, see, there's just one man, Gog of the land of Magog. In that day when my people of Israel dwelleth safely, shalt thou not know it? So here, God is bringing Gog of the land of Magog. We know about Tubal and Meshach in the oracles against the nations, oracles against Pharaoh, when Ezekiel said, Pharaoh, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be cast into the pit, into the nether world, where you will find your buddies there. The Syrians is there, Babylonians is there, Edomites is there, and people from Tubal and Meshach are there too. They're killed by the sword of God, and they are wicked and barbaric. So we know that these are barbaric people. Where exactly they are, we don't know. So God in verse 22 said, I will plead against him with pestilence, with blood. I will rain upon him, upon his bands, and upon the many people that are with him, and overflowing rain and great hailstone, fire and brimstone, and bring natural disasters upon them to destroy them. I'm again, verse 39, chapter 39. Behold, I am against you, God says to Ezekiel again, prophesy against Gog. I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. See, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts and bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. See, it is me will bring you. Will give you, hey, this unwalled cities, come and get them. There's booty to be had. So the greed of your eyes, your evil and your barbarity, I will bring you and use it against you. Verse 3 is very fun. And I will smite thy bow of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. And guess what? You will die there, and I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. God will bring the birds that feed on flesh, the animals that feed on flesh to come. When you die, in Tibetan practice, when the person die, there's such a thing as a sky burial, where they take out the corpse into the mountainside, cut it up, and summon the buzzards to come, and buzzards will pack at the flesh and clean out the body. And then, this guy will break the bones and mix it with flour of some sort. So here the birds will peck at the bones that's been pounded down and eat it, so that there's nothing of the corpse left. This is called sky burial. I had the pleasure or opportunity to witness it once. So here, that's what's going to happen. So the whole idea is, verse 7, so I will make my name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen, even the heathen, will know that I am the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. This army is so great. It will take the children of Israel 7 months to bury the dead soldiers. And also their armaments are so much of them, many of them made of wood. It will take them 7 months to bury, and many years, I forgot where it says there. Years, I think it's 3 years of firewood, because massive is their armaments, so that after it's been cleansed, you you have people walking around the desert and say, oh, there's a bone there. I said, quickly call the buriers. Verse 15 of chapter 39. Have to bury them. We cannot. God and the Jewish people have this thing about being in contact with corpses is unclean. You make you unclean too. So here, the land must be cleansed of these pagan corpses. It took them 7 months to bury them. And even as they find remnants of bones left, quickly bury them. You can see this land must be cleansed of the dead, especially the dead pagans, so that God can come back, so that it can be sanctified for God to come back and live there ever again. And verse 23 is, because of the sin of Israel, I did hide myself for a while. See, they trespassed against me, Israel. Therefore hid my face from them, and gave them into the hand of thy enemies. So fell they by the sword. But that's over. See, after that, verse 26, after that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwell safely in their land, and none made them afraid. That I've punished them already. That's over. And now they're settled. I did hide my face so that I let the enemy punish them. But that is over. Okay, now they've come back. I will let them dwell in their land safely, peacefully, with no one to make them afraid. No one. No one will make them afraid anymore. 29, neither will I hide my face anymore from them. For I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord God. Hope and restoration. Is this it? No, there is more. So Ezekiel has 48 chapters. So this is 38 and 39, and 40 to 42 or 43 is another section that's going to be taken together. And after that, it's the end of Ezekiel. Oh, I shall miss you, Ezekiel. I hope this has blessed you just as much as it's blessed me. And it's fascinating.